Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with the SCS mod. Finally, in this episode, we're going to progress the main storyline a little bit, and at long last visit the Nashkel Mines. Kind of an introductory first dungeon. Anyway, first we have to finish up this quest with Samuel. And yes, indeed, we have someone who is badly injured with us. And apparently Galana knows Samuel. He seems to be some old acquaintance of hers. It's a pity that he let himself be persuaded by Lena to desert the Fist. Anyway, she's going to help him. And we get 500 experience for that, and +1 reputation, or we would have gotten a higher reputation if we weren't maxed out already. Actually, I am going to talk to her again, and buy ourselves some Potions of Genius for some future scribing sessions that we're going to do, and I'm going to identify this wand for 100. So that Edwin can use some wands soon. Right. Now we're just going to travel south. I'm not going to rest yet. I think I'm going to rest in Beregost. So, in Beregost, first let's go to the Jovial Juggler. And inform Bjornin that we were successful in disposing of these half-ogres in the Drizzt area a couple of episodes ago.
Yes?
Fine work. News of the battle has reached me even here. In an effort to encourage such deeds of righteousness, allow me to present to you this shield. So, another reputation increase, 400 experience, and we get a... Oh yeah, Galana also gave us these two nice potions, Potion of Heroism and an Elixir of Health. And Bjornin gave us a medium shield +1, which is, well, now it isn't that great of an upgrade for Jaheira because she already had a small shield +1. The difference between small shields and medium shields is that medium shields also give their armor class bonus to ranged attacks, whereas small shields don't. And large shields actually gave you an armor class bonus against missile attacks. So finally, let's visit Taram's shop and buy ourselves some stuff. Primarily, see, no protection against missile attacks, just thought I'd show you this. Can sell this Helm of Infravision, some of these identified things, some of these basic armors that we don't need anymore. Alright, now let's start buying. You know what, I think I might buy this full plate mail. It's so cheap now, with 20 reputation and 20 charisma, the maximum discounts possible. Let's get this one, and you know, the Dagger of Venom for Kirinai, I'll buy that as well. And now let's just get some throwing daggers for her, a lot of them. Do not have any more. Yeah, you do have more slots opened. I think, you know, Kivin can get this.
I can make whatever you wish for a wee little bit
just a moment, just a while longer. We need some more throwing daggers, and we will be soon done in here. Yeah, let's go crazy. Alright, now we have some throwing daggers, but they weigh a lot, so Senashira is going to have 2 stacks of them. Now Jaheira is going to equip this full plate mail. As you can see, the base armor class didn't change because I think I showed you this before in some earlier episode when we first visited Beregost and Taran's shop. But as you can see, the base armor class is 1, but there are big bonuses against slashing damage and also versus piercing and missile. Bigger bonuses than this Ankh plate mail offers, because the base armor class here is 1 as well, but the bonuses versus, or the armor class versus slashing and piercing and missile especially, is worse. So actually, you know what, Kivin can have that for now. Oh yeah, wait, let's just identify this, yeah, dagger, that was the dagger +1. Let's just sell that. I think I'm gonna hold on to this plate mail That's going to be Kiven's plate mail when we have some better users of the
I am here.
for that Ankeg plate. Alright, now I'm just going to sell some gems, possibly sell some scrolls, and we're going to rest here, and then we will be ready.
I should rest now. I need sleep.
I am also going to sell this Winterwolf belt here, because SCS makes it different from the usual state of affairs, I guess, whereas the Nashkel's storekeep will normally always buy these Winterwolf pelts for 500 gold, but SCS makes a change that you can only sell one pelt to him for 500, and then he will not accept anymore, because SCS provides a dialogue explanation there that he only has like one buyer or something like that, and he will not buy any more of those. So we can't just, you know, get some great amounts of money by just getting a lot of Winterwolf pelts. So it makes it a little harder here. I'm just going to sell some spares and some spells that are not that useful in general. Alright, and let's sell some gems. Also, you might have noticed that, and I think we've talked about it before, that he has a composite longbow +1, which is, in my opinion, the best longbow in the game. And normally if I had Kiven, if I wanted to have Kiven for the whole game, I would buy that like without even thinking. You know what, I think I'm going to travel first to Nashkel and then rest.
I grow weary. Indeed.
I want to show something with the emeralds. Whoa. Alright, this is going to be bad.
Certainly.
This is bad.
Nature's servant awaits.
Edwin is surely going to die here. I have no way of saving him, I think.
You are as directed for now.
Yes?
Well, let's see what happens.
What is it?
It is done.
Sleep was not very effective.
What is it now?
Edwin, I think yeah.
Yes?
I need to give Edwin one potion of healing to save him. That is a really nasty ambush.
What is it now? If I must. I do not feel so well.
Your concern?
What is it?
Just kill this archer. Oh,
Yes?
alright, we're good. We're safe now.
What? A simple matter.
I am here.
Yes? A simple
We're so
matter.
fatigued. We're taking so much damage from these archers.
Your indeed.
Fortunately, Edwin wasn't fatigued. Another NPC project dialogue. Feel free to pause, of course. This one wasn't as elfy. On Edwin's NPC project. Right, finally, can I loot these guys? Please? We're gonna have a lot of scalps to sell in Chapter 3. So, pretty soon, actually. And also in Chapter 3 I'm going to have to be really careful when it comes to traveling, because SCS makes another change there. I'm going to explain more about that a little bit later, but SCS introduces some of the, or basically relocates two groups of assassins that you would normally meet in the world, And SCS makes them ambush you while you're traveling in between areas like this. You will get waylaid by enemies, and you will have to face them in these circumstances on like an ambush map like that. Let's go to this shop quickly.
Yeah, business has been poor, what with the iron shortage and all.
I wanted to buy something from him. Or to sell something to him. Oh, I forgot about this Colkettle, or Colket, I think this should be. This family amulet. There's a guy in Baragos that I should have delivered this amulet to. That's something that we've done a long time ago.
Yes.
I think I had some concept there to do something, but I forgot what I wanted to do there.
Certainly.
I think we have everything. We can talk to this character.
Have you tracked down Hagar yet? Do you know where he's gotten himself to?
Because we've, you know, discovered the fate of these men that Krill seduced in last episode.
Oh no! I can't. Oh, Hagar must have been among them. I know it. I know he left me, but oh, poor Hagar. How did he die? Please, tell me.
So of course we can be very descriptive here, but let's soften the blow, I guess.
Maybe it's better that I don't hear the details. Thank you for your help, but I must leave this place. I need to be alone.
I am here.
Poor girl. Anyway,
Certainly. It is done.
let us rest here.
Never had rats. No sorry.
Actually, let's rest a little bit longer so we can heal up.
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
Yes, certainly. I am here.
Alright, now we're going to make a quick stop at the carnival to pick up Imoen, recruit her back, and then finally we will be ready.
Indeed. Your concern?
Alright,
Indeed.
how are you doing, Imoen? How have you been?
You're a queer fellow.
Alright, welcome back, Imoen.
What you want?
Welcome home. And now Imoen is going to stay with us forever. Just give her a little bit more arrows.
Yes, certainly.
Alright, now we are ready. Oh yeah, this is the NPC Project's conversation about her making progress with her spellcasting. Of course, feel free to pause and read. Yeah, this stuff is kind of complicated. And then Edwin chimes in. And he's talking about different traps, and luckily for you, I've disarmed the numerous and deadly traps in the book. Yes, that should impress them suitably. Alright, so we're going to wait for her to cast that spell. She fumbles around a little bit with the cast, and in effect she casts or creates this Imoen's artifact, and it's basically a usable item that you can use once per rest that is going to buff up her dexterity by 1. And what it does in practice, you know, her dexterity goes up to 19, which provides her with a slight bonus, another +1 THACO bonus to her ranged THACO. And that's pretty much the extent of that.
I am here.
Alright, we're ambushed again.
Your concern?
You've a task?
Do you want? Is
What
it
is it?
now?
Yep.
Let's try to kill these
Simple
two
matter.
and sleep the ones on the right. And of course, love
Yes?
attacking Edwin.
What?
And we have like really no way of protecting Edwin.
Tell me. My actions are yours.
The primary way of protecting your mages in Baldur's Gate 1 is of course have them cast Mirror Image, but Edwin doesn't know that spell, and we're not going to invest any spells into him, because we're going to have Imoen as our primary, or as our mage basically, soon enough. Soon she's going to dual class into a mage, and then we're going to do a big scribing session with her, and we're going to finally have kind of like a proper mage that we are willing to invest in. We're going to be able to do those identification sessions to identify all those loot that we have and that we should get rid of. We should sell that.
Nature's servant awaits.
Let's just heal Edwin a little bit more. Alright. So now we're going to progress into the mine, and here there's going to be a character that is going to also have a very noticeably different reaction to us, because we have high charisma. Normally when you have like an average charisma, or you don't have a high charisma, he's going to be pretty rude.
Yes, certainly.
But since we have 20 charisma, we also have 20 reputation that affects his reaction.
So you want to take a look at me mine, do you?
Yes. So he says like, well, I see no harm in you, you know, entering the mines and stuff like that. And normally the reaction most people are going to be familiar with is his reaction like that, like, you know, he gives you like 24 hours or something, and then, you know, he's pretty rude about it. Alright, so this is Nashkel Mines, finally. And this is a really nostalgic place for me because, you know, this is kind of supposed to be your introductory kind of early game dungeon, like your first dungeon. I remember that from back in the day. And there's, you know, Miner Gord. He tells us about Ruffy. You remember that Albert's dog? That, well, demon's dog basically was also called Ruffy. I think just spelled with a single F, though. So anyway, he tells us about Ruffy that barely escaped with his life and should know something more about, you know, what's going on here.
'Tis much work to be done.
So he says demons, the little devils are everywhere. Yeah, and basically the thing to tell about, or to say about the Nashkel Mines, is that they are kind of empty when it comes to actual, like, game content. Although, on your first playthrough, I would encourage you to...
I think I'm coughing up blood.
encourage you to explore the whole thing, because there's a lot of different miners that you can talk to that have unique conversations, and basically to, like, you know, absorb, to feel this whole atmosphere of the mines, and, you know, to immerse yourself
I am indeed.
into the whole situation here. So Miner Dink wants to bring a dagger to Miner Kylie on the lower level. So yeah, sure, we will accept this quest. If you have Kagan here, he wants, you know, some money for the delivery service.
Yes, for the group.
Yeah, so we already can meet a few kobolds on this level. Generally, there's not too much danger. I just want to show you like an example of a conversation, because there's going to be miners, each one with a different name, and they have a unique thing to say, and they are going to have like a different opinion about what's going on. Some of them are going to, you know, talk about demons and or devils. And some of them are going to say something about ghosts or spirits, and, you know, they're going to have different theories about what's happening.
'Tis much work to be done.
One guy, like, basically, like, has a nap and basically dreams about, I think, ghosts or something, and then relates that tale as if it was true. Now, just the dragon is all, so he suspects that his theory is that, you know, there's a dragon responsible for all this.
They continue under, if I must.
Now, I should also show you probably that you can pick up some coal, I guess, from these carts. And there's this contaminated iron, not coal. What am I even talking about? That's basically the thing. We've heard much about the iron being tainted, so you can see that there are some mods that basically make these items relevant, but in the unmodded game they are just for you to kind of, you know, get immersed more, I guess. There's also going to be a liquid that we're going to be able to loot from some kobolds with that that contaminating liquid for the iron.
I am here. Certainly.
You've as good as done.
So here's Miner Beldin. They're coming, the yipping demons. They're everywhere. Save me. Never fear, we shall protect you from any harm. So if you have Kivin, he has this line, fall back, old man, fall behind us, and he is transported there. Normally, he's in such a situation that these kobolds like immediately shoot him and kill him, but it is still, even without Kivin, even without that addition from the NPC project, it is still possible to save him if you already have like a sleep spell already coming into this direction, or you have, you know, a missile from the necklace of missiles, that projectile. You know, if it's already traveling into their direction and they spawn and get immediately killed or disabled, you can still save him. But of course the NPC project makes it easier here, which is again a nice kind of opportunity that they took. Nice idea that they've had to, you know, finally save this miner that you've probably seen killed so many times. And also one thing that needs to be said about Nashkel and some other areas with the kobolds. Yeah, so I think this is added by the NPC project. I think normally in the unmodded game, if you save him, he doesn't really say anything or doesn't reward you. Yeah, so you'll tell Master Emerson of our heroic deed, another +1 reputation, of course. Anyway, I was saying that I have this component from SCS installed called the Dark Side Kobolds, and I think it's going to be some changes from that component are going to be visible in the mines. They're also kind of noticeable in the Firewine Bridge ruins. Come on, just pick up this necklace.
Yes?
That basically they make these areas tougher by spawning more kobolds and adding more types of kobolds. Like there's going to be guards, kobold chieftains, and stuff like that. But it's also about their numbers being greater. So the Cobalt Commandos are something that's normal in the unmodded game. They are the ones that... I'll see Kobold Guards. I think they are melee kobolds that are slightly tougher. And then the Cobalt Commandos are the ones that fire or shoot fire arrows. I just wanted to showcase this room, because this is kind of memorable. Kind of this central room. Let's pick up some of these fire arrows. Alright. Like I said, the mines are kind of empty when it comes to actual kind of content.
I am here.
I am going to quick save and quick load to fix the combat music. So yeah, on this level of the mines, there's pretty much just the only thing to do here is go find Miner Kylie and return his dagger to him. He's right here.
So dark down here.
So he actually tells us the truth that it's the kobolds. It's the yipping demons, I guess. And the source of evil in this mine are all the kobolds.
Your concern?
And there are some like racks with weapons and stuff. Some basic, mundane, non-magical weapons that you can pick up. But yeah, the kobolds are responsible for what we're going to basically see in a second. The kobolds in the eastern part here, near the entrance to the next level of the mine. They have the liquid with, or the vials with that contaminating liquid that they use to contaminate the iron being mined here. So that's basically the story. We're uncovering the story as we're progressing. No, Senashira, I'm going to... Or, you know what? This is actually as good of a time as any to buff up Senashira's armor class with that shield amulet. because we're going to spend a little time in this mine.
What? Fine.
Yes? Indeed.
And see that that's
Why must we
the
emulate the ways of the dwarven folk by
that's the
crawling
vial
up
of
these
mysterious
warrens?
liquid, and that's basically the. This is also something that some mods make relevant, that you can bring this back to the Nashkel's mayor, Baron Gastgill, and he's going to take this. But with my mod installation that I have in this playthrough, there would be
I am
like no
here.
purpose in carrying this around, really.
As you direct.
Indeed.
My blade will cut you down to size. Yes? A simple matter.
Yes?
Again, if I must.
What? Fine.
I am here.
Alright.
Indeed.
And here's the passage to level 3 of the mine. There's not going to be any miners down there. We're delving deeper and deeper into the lair of evil.
Yes,
And you can see here this ring. This greenstone ring here is actually Joseph's greenstone ring. If you remember from one of the previous episodes where we visited Nashkel for the first time, we picked up this quest from
I am
one of the
here.
inhabitants of the
You're a queer fellow.
of the
I'm gone.
town. This quest to find Miner Joseph, and unfortunately here is his corpse.
Yes, as you wish.
There's a healing potion in this one cart.
Yes? Indeed.
There's not much generally in the barrels and stuff. That's pretty much the only notable loot here, or piece of loot, is that healing potion. By the way, that red spot here, I don't think we've ever seen any traps yet in this playthrough. That was a trap. I was detecting traps with Imoen, and she was able to disarm it for 25 experience. And now this passage is also trapped, and at the other side of... there's like 3 traps here. On the other side there are kobolds that are going to shoot us.
For the group.
So that's a pretty
What you want?
nasty...
I've done had enough of this.
Nature's servant awaits.
I'm
Yep,
just going to
I've done had
get
enough
rid of them
this.
from a
A
distance.
simple matter.
But that can be a pretty nasty moment when you're here
I'm
first.
gone.
And you don't know about the traps, and you're just going to charge in to get to the kobolds on the other side. And see, there's yet another trap there.
Your concern?
For the group.
Yes? Indeed.
If I must.
Yeah. As good as done. For the fallen!
Alright.
I've done had enough of this.
Certainly. I am here.
Oh yeah, it's 2 traps here and 3 traps near the entrance to the next level.
What you want?
Plenty of kobolds, of course,
It
who
is done.
charge from behind corners. It's actually pretty cool, you know, when you like immerse yourself into the whole thing. Like there are kobolds just coming out of,
Yeah, a simple
you know,
matter.
from behind corners and just surrounding you. This is especially good with SCS, and that
Yes?
those
Indeed.
components like the dark side kobolds and the better calls for help, because they really, you know, the kobolds from different areas basically come forth to aid their brethren. This kobold is kind of stuck in the wall,
My blade will cut you
I
down
am
to
here.
size.
bugged out. And I just want to pick up some fire arrows.
Yep, this way.
So there are some bridges.
Your indeed.
I think this one is trapped. But we need to go here. Down here. This is going to be kind of a spider lair down there. Just going to wait for those kobolds to approach.
Yes?
Your worthless lives end here.
Certainly.
So that we don't expose ourselves to their ranged attacks so easily.
My blade will cut you down to size.
I think this episode might be slightly longer, but I would like to finish up the Nashkel Mines
I am
in this
indeed.
episode before, like, I'm beginning a new one. So we have some huge spiders, no big deal.
My blade will cut you down to size.
As you can see, all of these kobold archers and stuff, especially if you have the dark side kobolds. Basically, also why it's called the dark side, it's because that component is basically originates from a mod called Dark Side of the Sword Coast. That was the inspiration for it. And
Yes?
if you come here at a lower level with a lower health pool and, you know, worse armor class and all of these kobold archers can be pretty nasty.
Your life should be mine.
Oh, there's a chieftain. Or a kobold shaman. He has mirror image. He's somewhere in the back.
It is done.
Here he is. Was invisible.
I care not. Yes.
Let's focus our attacks on him.
What is it now?
Edwin, you can actually use
Nature.
Larlock's Minor Drain. Okay, he just used monster summoning.
Again, my action. Your worthless lives end here.
And Senashira is panicked. He can actually cast level 2 spells, that guy, with mirror image and horror.
Yes,
My blade will cut you down.
Now we need to quickly... Okay, Senashira is panicked and going west, so it's not that big of a deal. Basically, I was afraid that she might go into the traps right here. There are 3 traps to disarm over there.
What such menial tasks?
You, if I must.
We might be able
Do
to
you
kind of
want God?
block her way here soon.
as you direct.
Yeah. Oh, okay, no,
I know this way.
maybe not. Let's quickly... Did that shaman die, by the way? Okay. Yeah, 3 traps here. If you're not prepared, they can deal some pretty good damage to your party, I guess. Now we have to just wait this fear out.
But as good as done.
But we've cleared the surrounding area pretty well, I think.
This is good
There
as
shouldn't
done.
be any immediate danger, but... Well, if you just keep going so far away there, and we might be in trouble.
It is as good as done.
Such menial
What? My
tasks.
action?
Good on you if you saved it this way.
Don't as you wish.
What a simple matter.
Alright.
It is done.
I was creating a wall there. Alright, we're good. We don't have a cleric, we don't have a remove fear
Your
spell on us,
indeed.
which might be a slight problem here. I guess this shaman didn't have any interesting loot.
Yes? I am here. Your indeed.
Alright. Final level.
Certainly. Yes? Certainly. I am
We're already over time. But I'm just going to do this final fight.
Nature's servant is good as
your
done.
concern.
This is a good place to cast asleep.
Yes, such menial tasks.
Yes?
Alright, that was very effective.
Yes, oh, omnipresent
Now we can just
authority.
finish them off at our leisure.
Yes?
Back home?
Again, you
That's
disturb.
where
I am
tell me
here.
a story.
You is good as done.
What is it?
Your concern. Certainly.
Alright,
Yes?
and there's going to be a ghoul or a ghast
I am here.
over here.
indeed.
Let's just take care of him. And we're going to progress into this lair inside of this cave chamber, I guess.
Nature's servant. Oh, yes, as you
Your
direct.
concern. Certainly.
Alright.
Yes?
Now inside is going to be the final fight of
You've
this
a
chapter.
I am indeed.
I'm going to heal up with my characters a little bit, use my potions.
Servant away.
Unfortunately, Edwin doesn't have any protections for himself, which is very unfortunate, because we're going to be surrounded, and it might be a little tough at some times,
Yes,
but we'll see.
omnipresent authority
I'm going to
figure.
use Bless from Jaheira. That's pretty much all we can do, although we have some potions. Let's see what we have at our disposal. These potions of invisibility might be handy. Edwin might need to go invisible.
You are so irritating.
And you know what? I think I might start invisible with Edwin.
It is done.
And let's go.
Certainly.
Now this is a very kind of nasty fight potentially because of the environment here. Very narrow corridors, not much room to move and to position yourself beforehand, because Mulahey, the boss here, is right over there. And
What if I must?
yeah. Might reposition a little bit. We might scout with Edwin since he's invisible. As you can see, there's going to be kobolds here. There's Zan, whom we're going to talk to after the fight. Here's Mulahey, but this is not all. Like there are going to be many reinforcements. You can do something cheesy and like block their path with an invisible character, which is something that I'm not going to do. I just kind of want to position Edwin outside of here.
Done had enough of this.
You've a task?
Yeah, we pretty much have
Your concern. It is done.
nothing else that we can do. We only have our wands.
Yes?
Yeah, let's just go in.
Certainly.
What? How'd you get in here?
So he's under the impression that we're someone else. Tazok must have dispatched you, and my traitorous kobolds let you pass, didn't they? I knew I could not trust them. Armed as such, you have obviously been sent to kill me. By Cyric, not a measure of ore leaves these mines unspoiled, and I am still to be executed? I'll not lose my head over this. So of course we can play along to like reveal your treachery. But we're going to be just straightforward about it. Help, my minions, help! He actually has a voiced line like that. Yeah, I'm just going to right click on him because he has some sick voiced lines here.
You'll not have me. You'll not. You'll not. Help, my minions. Help.
Yeah, so that was it. So as you can see, he summons some skeletons, some more kobolds that are basically everywhere. I am going to use sleep, and we're going to try and just remove these kobolds from around here. Mulahey is a pretty high-level cleric himself, so he has some pretty nasty spells
My
at his disposal.
Down to size.
He's immune to fear. Oh yeah,
By
Jaheira,
your
actually.
command.
You might use your wand to fear some of these kobolds, and these should go hostile.
Elminster this,
I am going to try to interrupt him
2,000 years at the point
with
he had,
Edwin.
I'll kick his arse.
Edwin's Wand of Frost. Alright, spell failed. This wand is just so good, although you have to be a little careful with it, because if you kill an opponent and they get turned into ice, basically, they're frozen, and their corpse gets exploded, then you will lose some loot.
This would be a good place for a hinge.
Yep.
Alright, now we have to kind of like reposition ourselves. Let's go further into that chamber.
What?
Use your Dagger of Venom, I guess, on Mulahey. We need some blunt weapons on the skeletons. This kobold is feared.
My actions
I care not.
You can switch to your bow and maybe try to interrupt
Don't bother me.
Mulahey, and you will switch to your bow. Let's ignore this one skeleton and focus on Mulahey.
again. My actions are
Nature's servant awaits.
Let's try and use some ranged weapons against Mulahey,
Your concern?
so he doesn't get a spell off. Well, that's a necromancy spell, so he wanted to heal himself, but I guess he didn't manage to. Senashira did some good damage. Kivin damaged Mulahey, Kirinai. He made a save versus death, so he wasn't poisoned by our dagger of venom, but still, she was able to do some really good damage in melee to Mulahey. And now we can get rid of these
Yes,
stragglers here.
You're a queer fellow.
Yes?
What is it now?
Alright, that was pretty good. This fight can be kind of nasty depending how everything goes. With all the skeletons and all the kobolds and this, you know, just the terrain layout.
You've a task?
Don't bother me.
I am here.
Your life will be mine.
It can be pretty nasty. Alright, and since we're already over time by quite a bit,
Disturb me.
NPC Project banter, referring to Imoen's pink clothes. And Edwin actually likes it because he is a red wizard and of course prefers to dress all in red. So I guess there's a certain bond to be had by these characters when it comes to their fashion choices. Red is the color of colors. The pinnacle of elegance. Alright, anyway, we're over time. We've done this fight. We have won. And check back in the next episode to see what spoils we get, I guess, after this fight. And we're going to continue on our adventure. But yeah, this has pretty much been the Nashkel Mines. We'll wrap things up in the next episode and continue our adventures. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.